It's all prison. I live inside my head.
So that's how you're doing your time? Are you really that much in control of your emotions?
Been that way all my life. Only time I ever lost it was what got me in here.
I'm familiar with your case history. So, you prefer your own company?
Most of the time.
I'm supposed to recommend whether or not you seem to require a detailed psychiatric evaluation. Other than the incident in the mess hall...
That wasn't me. And why don't you go talk to the hotshot champ? Ask him about it.
So you deny any responsibility?
Yeah, I deny it. Now how does that affect me moving on?
It has no bearing in your transfer to Folsom.
You know, this whole thing is about people being scared.
Aren't you afraid of him?
Afraid? Shit. He's a fighter, I'm a fighter. If I'm better on that day, I win. That's just the way it goes. Someday, every fighter loses. Sooner or later, somebody comes along and they got your ticket. Too old, just wasn't your day, whatever the reason is. In the end, everybody gets. Most you can hope for is that you stay on top a while. Be the best.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Every time you got a bar, and the bar's got somebody in it thinks he's tough as a nickel steak. But they all come to speed for the do-re-mi.
Now get this. We ain't partners. We ain't brothers and we ain't friends.
My little brother was 15 years old. What do you think about that? You're way in hell.
How about cutting heads?
Oh, I get it. You want some kind of contest, huh?
You're a real smart boy, ain't you?
I guess maybe you'll have to kill me.
It'll hurt if I do. Well, looks like I finally ran into someone that likes to play as rough as I do.
Yeah, this must be your lucky night.
And my buddies, they're not nice like me.
Are we supposed to say thanks?
You're not supposed to say nothing, soldier.
In the heart of the Mojave Desert lies Sweetwater Penitentiary.
We house murderers, armed robbers, rapists.
A high-security prison with a long-standing tradition.
It's time! It's time!
For 10 years, Monroe Hutchin has been undefeated.
Monroe wins again!
This is your house. You own this place.
This was my house. I could get up and leave.
But Sweetwater is about to receive a new prisoner.
George Iceman Chambers remains undefeated heavyweight champion!
The word is, the Iceman's day of arrival is tomorrow.
Boxing's various governing bodies began stripping you of your title belt.
Who they think they're kidding? Everybody knows I'm the champ. And I'm gonna be the champ till I quit.
Now, the heavyweight champion from the inside.
In here, I'm the champ.
Will meet the heavyweight champion from the outside.
Nobody can stand up to what I got.
We got the heavyweight champion of the world and an unbeaten prospect. Quit wasting time. Set the thing up.
Boy came up to me and said that if I fight some punk in here, he can maybe get me out quick.
You're a good champion. We got a champion right here, and he can kick your ass.
Give him one! Take out the ceiling!
Well, rumor has it he took down one of his skinheads. A lot of rumors in prison, you know.
I want you to fight him in the cage at a finish. You win, that's $4 million. And I think you can win.
Wesley Snipes.
I can take this guy and I don't need no help.
Ving Rhames.
Ain't but one champ in here.
Peter Falk.
You better get ready to fight.
Michael Rooker.
Get me a situation right in here.
And Wes Studi.
I was in trouble.
Two undefeated boxers.
Right time, right place, right circumstance. They all can be beaten.
An unprecedented event.
And if I knew I had to go to jail and see a fight like this, I'd have did a crime a long time ago.
One undisputed champion. Undisputed.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Last Call At Torchy, the podcast all about one man's mission to be producer, director, writer, all those things. The king of Brandywine himself, Mr. Walter Hill, and with me tonight, as always, is my brothers in this little adventure. Wesley Russell, how you doing, sir?
Well, I'm kind of a bum, just a big uncoordinated motherfucker, but I'm doing all right. So, yeah.
Yeah, your footwork needs help too, is all I'm gonna say about that one.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my gosh. Also, with you tonight from just a state over from me is Mr. Cameron Scott. How you doing, sir?
I'm still the fucking champ, you know? Nah. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing great. I'm having a good day. Can't complain.
Good. Yeah. Here tonight, we're talking about, it's been a long time, guys. I apologize for that. You know, stuff kept happening and rescheduled and people getting sick and, you know, my gosh. But yeah, we're talking about Undisputed from 2002. Your cheapo plot synopsis is this. When heavyweight champion George Iceman Chambers lands in prison, the resident gangster arranges a boxing match with the reigning prison champ. This is directed by Walter Hill, of course, written by David Giler and Walter Hill. Big ass cast in this movie of people that most of which have never been in a Walter Hill film before, so this is nice. Wesley Snipes as Monroe Hutchin, Ving Rhames as George Iceman Chambers, the great Peter Falk as Mindy Ripstein. It's like they're saying Mindy for this movie. Yeah. Michael Rooker as AJ Merker, our head guard, I guess you would call it. John Seda I thought it was Freddie Rodriguez actually, but I was wrong about that.
I did too.
Oh no, I mentioned it. I instantly pegged him because I was, oh shit, one of the guys from Homicide: Life on the Street.
Yeah. He was working, man.
Mm-hmm.
As Jesus Chewy Campos, the amazing Wes Studi as Mingo Pace. There's a lot of amazing actors. Fisher Stevens as James Ratbag Kroichek.
What a name, Ratbag.
What a name, Ratbag. Dayton Kelly as Yank Lewis. Ed Lover as our MC in this film. Can't hate about this. As Marvin Bonds as your ring announcer. I can't hate on this because it has to do with the soundtrack, and I'm not going to go there. But I had to shout this guy out because I just seen him in another movie I watched. I watched Barbed Wire today for no reason at all. And Nils Allen Stewart, that obnoxious dude with that back ponytail hanging out of his head all the time. You know this bald guy. He shows up in about 1 billion action movies. He's in this film. Stuntman actor and second unit of assistant director Nils Allen Stewart. Look him up. You have seen him in 10 action films. I can guarantee it.
I've seen him in 10 action films this week alone.
There you go. I had to mention him because I love that guy action stars. To do a whole podcast on Spinelli Thorson, just top 10 roles, be all good. Oh my gosh! But yeah, this is good to an extent. I'm gonna kick it to Cameron first, ask him what he thinks of Undisputed.
Well, believe it or not, guys, this was a first-time watch for me. I had not seen Undisputed. I had not seen any of the sequels, which I've looked into and I've bookmarked on the old Plex. I'm going to, try to watch those and see if they have anything. What's that?
They don't, but they're worth your time.
Okay. But I appreciated this. I think like Walter Hill does on this one. He just wanted to make a boxing movie that was just about a boxing that didn't have any ulterior motives. And for that, it's a good movie. It's just about boxing. It's about boxing in prison, but it's kind of, I don't want to say it's not good, but it's definitely not great. It's got some great performances. Wesley Snipes is good with little he's in it. Ving Rhames is fucking powerhouse in more ways than one. He's fucking intense. Everybody is somebody in this movie. You got Fisher Stevens, like we already talked about, Wes Studi, Peter Falk, who was the MVP here, and it's got my boy Michael Rooker in it. I find it hard to hate on anything that's got a little bit of Michael Rooker. He's a class act. He's always good in everything he does. But it's just kind of blasé. It's oddly paced for a Walter Hill movie. Usually his movies, are very swiftly paced and just misses the mark just a little bit. Like I was saying, I'm not hating on it completely. I'm just not loving on it completely either, if that makes any sense. But yeah, for a first time watch, I was impressed enough where I would say I'd probably watch this again when I was a little bit more in tune with the sequels, and I can achieve that here in the next week or so because I got some time off. But I walked away from this movie thinking one thing: I love filthy Peter Falk. Like foul mouth Columbo is my jam. That was just great. And some of the things that were great about this movie, Peter Falk, Fisher Stevens for once not, doing the short circuit thing. And yeesh, yeah, we can do a whole show about that later. But, this movie is a who's who of tough guy actors. And, it's a serviceable action movie and, serviceable action drama. And, and again, Peter Falk is the MVP. So I'll leave it at that.
Cool. Ali.
So it was a first time watch for me in the sense that I watched it for the first time for the podcast, but because, like you mentioned, Gary, it's been a while since we got this episode out. I had already watched it once before in anticipation that we were going to record before we had to cancel, like last minute. And I did find that with the second viewing, I liked it a lot more. I was kind of where Cameron was on the first time I watched it. But the second time I watched it, I enjoyed it a lot more. But I agree with Cameron. It's very simple and straightforward. It's definitely just Walter Hill wanted to do a prison boxing movie or just a boxing movie. I mean, he already did Hard Times, so let's take Hard Times, but let's do it in prison. It works for what it is. It's very cheap, but it shows, and it shows. But I mean, it's like effectively shot, effectively done. I think I'm in agreement. Like the first time I watched it, like Cameron was saying, it's slow in parts, like it drags a little. The pacing's off, kind of.
A lot of loving shots of Wesley Snipes building things with toothpicks.
Yes, but I think for me, the second time around, I found it much more palatable. My biggest problem is it starts off a little draggy with all the flashback stuff. Like, I don't think this movie needed any flashbacks at all. And I think that's the worst part of the movie. Otherwise, it's very straightforward. It works really well. If you cut the flashback stuff out, I think it would move at a much quicker pace. And then you get into it, and it's just about the boxing match and the build up to the boxing match. And you have all these great character actors just doing their thing. And it's really enjoyable, I thought. And I'm not a big fan of boxing movies and shit like that either. Like, I'm not really into that stuff. And I found myself enjoying it a lot more the second time around. And I think it's pretty decent. I'm going to say, it's like upper middle of the pack for Walter Hill, in my opinion. So, we'll get more into it as we talk, but I'll pass the baton.
Yeah, I dug this upon its release because of, the time it came out. There was some decent boxing fare that wasn't like Rocky stuff coming out. This was out. Play to the Bone, the Ron Shelton movie with Woody Harrelson and Antonio Banderas.
Oh
Good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed stuff like this, so I was like all in for it. Now, like you guys mentioned, it's good, once it gets to the lead up to the fight, and it's fine before that too. I mean, leading up to, but at least at the flashback stuff. If you guys didn't know, Ving Rhames is supposed to be Mike Tyson. Okay, yeah. This is what he's supposed to be, but they keep going back to why he went to prison. They keep going back to media scenes of not Robin Gibbons telling her story. I was like, you just don't care. You need 2 minutes of exposition of why he's in prison, and that's all you should have.
They should have had maybe one of those flashback moments instead of like 6.
Yeah,
maybe like a quick news bite or something, and
this is a movie that starts out with like the so like 90s, early 2000s cliche of character introduced with title card kind of thing, where it's like, so and so in prison for this, and this, and it's like, okay, so there's your backstory. That's the effective way you bring the backstory in. You don't need to know anything else. Like, and most people at this point watching this would know, oh, this is Mike Tyson. Like, this is totally Mike Tyson. They're just not calling him Mike Tyson. So like you don't need all that extra flashback exposition stuff to know what this story is actually about.
You know who else does this? That annoys me? This is going to be a controversial statement, but I don't really need 20 minutes of the movie Sorcerer by William Friedkin.
Oh, you can go fuck right off.
The whole telling all their backstories and stuff. it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. I don't know why.
Oh, you're dead to me, sir. I'm not even.
I'm off this podcast. I'll see you later, guys.
If you like it, you like it, and a lot of folks do.
You're shitting on my favorite movie of all time right now.
It's a personal opinion, you know.
Oh, man.
Like people that love the No Limit Soldiers. I'm not one of those people, and you know, I grew up at right on 20 years old when these or 17, 18 when this came out, and Master P and his No Limit Soldiers show up in this film. And they show up on the soundtrack, and you know what? The biggest thing takes me out of this film is not those flashbacks; it's the weak sauce hip hop soundtrack that's in this movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's a little out of date, isn't it?
It's not even that; it's just not very good.
Well, that too. Yeah, Master P was never any of that good.
I can watch.
Neither was Silk the Shocker. He wasn't ever that good either.
I can watch the movie Colors and enjoy the hip hop soundtrack, and that,
yeah,
you know. That's a good hip hop soundtrack, and that came up before this. I can't say, hey, I don't like hip hop soundtracks, but you know, this is it really takes, you know, something that should have been a story that should have been told, not better, because this is a film filled with characters. I can't say all the characters mesh well together, but I love everything that they're doing. If that makes any sense,
yeah,
it just.
Everyone's getting to play. Like it feels like Walter Hill just kind of had people like do your thing. Like here's the script and all, but you know, do your thing. Like you're great. I mean, I feel like and one of the best parts of this movie, frankly, is that like 2-minute fucking monologue that Peter Falk has, where like Cameron mentioned, where he starts getting like every second word is fuck and fucking and fuck and fucking and the fucking government taking my taxes, and the fucking my wife is sick, and I had to fucking move here.
Yeah, fucking cocksuckers.
Like
hearing Peter Falk say cocksucker would have been worth the price of admission alone if I had seen this in theaters.
Yeah, it feels like, especially in that case, it feels like he just let Peter Falk go. Like he just come up with something. Like here's a bullet point of what you're talking about, but just come up with something. And because it does not feel scripted to me. I could be totally wrong, but it does not feel scripted. It just feels like this is Peter Falk riffing. You know, I mean, Peter Falk's played these sort of characters his entire fucking career, so it's like it wouldn't be hard for him to like be an old mobster in prison.
He's like Alan Arkin.
Yeah,
who could bring prestige to the Jerky Boys movie? Okay, Jerky Boys movie is salvageable because Alan Arkin is in it. You put Peter Falk in a movie like this, where you know he has lots of great scenes in here, to where he's like the part where he first goes to the Iceman's cell, and he's just talking shit about him being a fucking one-punch slug and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
You're a champion.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to. I love it. He's subtly just like trying to send these two fucking alpha bulls headbutting each other because it you know, he can make a good bet on the fucking fight. You know, that's the big thing. Like he's still got power in prison. He's got outside contacts with bookies and stuff like that to make Vegas bets on this shit. And it's like I can clean up betting in prison, and I can clean up betting outside because there's people outside interested in this fight as well. And so his entire thing is just to like get Ving Rhames pissed off, because Ving Rhames is a egotistical, fucking self-centered, just higher than thou motherfucker who walks into that prison with his chest puffed up like he's the biggest shit in the world. And I mean, he's the world champion, so you can kind of get where he's coming from, you know.
He walks in like he's a god among men, and he pretty much is. I mean, but you know, in the mortal words of Dennis Hopper, tone it down, man.
Well, he's trying to be that pompous. He's trying to be, again. They have the whole, again, the Peter Falk stuff is amazing. I'll listen to him talk about Rocky Marciano for 5 minutes. And for the same reason why I listened to Pat McAfee talk about college football. I give a fuck about college football, but he's enthusiastic about it, so he makes me care about college football.
Yeah, when you hear someone have passion for something, even if it's something you're not into, but they can talk about it in a really eloquent and maybe even poetic way, then yeah, it's going to be something you can listen to regardless.
But yeah, I love the relationships, you know, the surprise relationships, because he gets Wes Studi as a cellmate, and you wouldn't think they'd like come together and be buds, but they kind of come together and be buds. That's like his only like real soft spot is his relationship with Mingo in this movie, and it's hard not to love Wes Studi in anything because he plays the stone face, but serious thing.
He's probably the closest. Like him and like John Cena are probably the closest thing to like quote unquote nice guys in this prison.
Right.
Yeah. Because they present Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames as like major shades of gray. Because you don't like, we see that Wesley Snipes killed somebody over like a kind of a lover's quarrel thing. Ving Rhames, it's never even really confirmed if he did rape that woman or not, but the way he carries himself just makes you hate him anyway, because like he's talking to that female like prosecutor or lawyer or whatever the fuck it is that he's talking to, and even when she brings up, she said this and this, and he's like, well, she enjoyed it, and she wasn't feeling pain when I was fucking her that night. Like, just how arrogant he is about it makes you think maybe he did rape that woman. Maybe he misinterpreted signals, but maybe he raped that woman, but you never really 100% know. And so that like makes him sort of the de facto villain with his attitude when he comes in prison, because everyone hates him. Everyone's like immediately like, fuck this guy. He thinks he's better than everyone else. And so it's almost, everyone starts like coming behind Wesley Snipes as a prison pride kind of thing. Like, he's not going to walk in here and treat us like shit.
Yeah, he's not going to pretend like he's better than the rest of us because he's in here too. You know, whether he did it or not, everybody's got a story. Everybody's, everybody's quote unquote innocent.
Yeah.
But, they don't have to confirm whether or not he actually raped that woman or not, because we already know that he's a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, he's just a scumbag. Although I guess in the one of the sequels that his character carries over into one of the sequels. It's not played by Ving Rhames, right? But I guess he's like in like the sequel that his character carries over to is like the good guy in that one, which is weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's odd. That's not really like tracks with this one here, obviously, but it's all about Boyka and those sequels, so you really don't care, Good old Scotty Adkins kicking all kinds of ass in those movies.
Oh yeah,
again, highly recommended. Those Undisputed sequels, it does. Oh my gosh, but yeah, I like that. Like you got the setup for the fight is pretty good, but then you get to the fight, and you just see how, because Wesley Snipes' film, he's built himself up to be, built. This is the slimmest and most muscular he's ever been, in my opinion. And he put the work in. I can't say so much about Ving Rhames in this movie as far as like putting the work in.
I mean, I've seen Ving Rhames like carry more like obvious fat on him in certain roles. Like he's pretty cut in this. Like he's just a big meaty motherfucker, but he's fairly cut, at least in the arms. He looks like a boxer. And Wesley Snipes looks like a boxer. And I'll say this, Wesley Snipes really playing against type in this one, too. He's not like a cocky, like, kind of cynical guy or whatever. Like, he usually plays a guy who's like, saying one-liners and stuff like that and has funny
like
quips.
The Blade type role.
Yeah. So he's definitely, like, going a different direction here. And it's like, if it wasn't for, all those unfortunate, like, tax problems that he ran into and shit, like he could have been like the one big action hero, like successor to like the classic 80s guys, I feel, because he's just so good, and he's a really good actor too. And
I mean, this is kind of his version of doing Stallone's Lockup, just with Lockup if Stallone was playing Rocky in prison.
Yeah. This movie is Lock Up, or it's like Penitentiary without like the more like cheapo exploitation elements. Like this is it's a kind of an old fashioned boxing movie, really. Like it feels I think I read a review that agrees with me on this. I think it was Ebert actually said it, that like this reminded him of like a 1940s boxing movie. Like just like a cheapo, like, fucking programmer that they'd put out there, like a boxing movie or something like that. And Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with that. It feels very old fashioned in a lot of ways. Like it's not particularly sleazy. There's not like there's like maybe one pair of tits in it in the flashback or whatever. The violence is not exceptionally bloody or.
Yeah, there's not a lot of gore in this. Or,
no,
a lot of blood. I mean, there's the obligatory cut above the eye kind of thing. But even when they show Wesley Snipes in the flashback doing, killing his girl's side piece or whatever you would want to call it. That's not bloody or gory or even particularly violent. I mean, like the most violence in this is the beginning, opening boxing match and the end boxing match.
Yeah, I honestly, I think maybe that's what ultimately Walter Hill was going for. He was trying to make one of those like old-fashioned boxing movies, but just set it in modern context in modern times. So like you get the hip-hop stuff, and he's done that before. He did that all through the 90s when he was making movies with Trespass and stuff like that. So like this is not new for him, but I mean, he's really trying to like frame it in a more modern context, but still do a classic kind of genre picture. And I think for that, it works pretty well. Like I said, this second time going through it, I really enjoyed it. So
I think I'm biased because when I used to work, I still work at the same place, but many, many moons ago, there was young kids there that would just eat up that No Limit shit.
Uh-huh.
So I just listened to against my will, 3 6 Mafia and all this shit all day long. It just kept playing in a loop, and I just wanted to kill myself in my place of work. And so the hip hop soundtrack in this kind of reminded me of the good old days where I want to kill myself at work.
Well, bad hip hop for me just kind of like goes in one ear and out the other. I filter it pretty well, so I don't have your unique problem with that. Like it was just like background radiation for me, really, more than anything else.
If I can ignore shitty country music, I can ignore shitty hip hop at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when Alicia Keys was on the radio every 45 minutes. First time you're like, wow, this sounds nice. Second time, this still sounds okay. Like that third or 18th time of the day, because they're playing the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like, I just can't do it anymore, Alicia Keys. I can't do it.
Know what I could have done with more of in this movie was Fisher Stevens trying to act hard and punch Ving Rhames in the face.
No.
That was the best scene. That other than Peter Falk's monologue, that was the best scene. I was just like, oh no, dude, just walk away. Just walk away. You might be, you're just because you're a rat bag doesn't mean you have to be a rat bag.
Man, Fisher Stevens.
This can only end bad, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Fisher Stevens looking like he's like auditioning to be like the successor to Tracy Walter or something in this movie. Because first time I watched this is like, is that Tracy Walter? Oh no, that's Fisher Stevens. Holy fuck!
Yeah, he was not looking good at this point.
Yeah.
It was like Mr. Stevens trying to play Tracy Walters by way of Gary Oldman as Drexel and fucking
Jesus
True Romance.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit too. Yeah,
I just watched that literally, because I guess it was White Boy Day. So I'll say about that.
I guess it ain't White Boy Day, is it?
Nah, man, it ain't White Boy Day.
That's a great movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like it. Kind of reminds you of like the way you would like watch YouTube videos now, like leading up to a fight, like TikTok. It kind of played like that, like leading up to the fight in this movie, and of course, very theatrically. I enjoyed that segment of this movie very, very much, and when you got to the fight, it's filmed again. It's Walter Hill. It's filmed well.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good inside of a cage. It ends with, the way it ends. I don't want to give it away if you ever saw Undisputed, but it's the right man won the fight and got more Peter Falk, and Peter Falk took care of his man. I like that part of the movie.
Yeah,
I like that part too. That was a nice touch. That I did not have that on my bingo card
because the way he was talking about him, like Mindy, whatever his name is. Had like Alzheimer's or something. He would come in and out of like different fight scenarios. I don't think he did, because I think he just like talking about old fights.
Yeah, no, he he plays a fully realized, like, kind of three-dimensional character but he's not like given a lot necessarily in the script to do it with. It's just Peter Falk being Peter Falk and just like living in the shoes of the character. And like he's got stuff going on behind the eyes, or the eye, I should say.
Hey.
but like he is manipulating things behind the scenes throughout the entire movie. And like, honestly, it was the second watch through that really made me appreciate that more, where I was like, oh yeah, no, Peter Falk is like on top of everything. He feels like he knows he's gonna die, basically, and he's been engineering this whole thing to give his friends who've taken care of him some money and shit like that. So
Oh yeah, I never felt like he did have Alzheimer's. I thought he was playing everybody.
Yeah.
Like when he came up with that was like, was it 3 pages of rules for the fight? And he's like, yeah, no gloves. He's like, why? Because the rules say no gloves. Like, why? Any other reason? Because I fucking said so?
That Marcus of Queensberry shit.
Yeah.
And Dayton Cowley is so good in this too. He's not given a whole heap and hell of a lot to do other than to be, Ving Rhames, like verbal punching bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, much like if there's one big travesty in this movie is that they don't give Michael Rooker very much to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But they didn't give him the atypical storyline, the stereotypical, badass, head of the guard or whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's just like, okay, he definitely plays the what the hell's the name of the guy that played the warden? Dennis something, I can't remember his full name, the plays Warden Lipscomb. But he's just like, yeah, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't want anybody killing me on the way to my car or anything.
Yeah,
he's like, I ain't gonna cross these guys.
No, he's like a middleman and a peacekeeper, and he just like he skirts, he jumps between both camps, like kind of like making sure things move smoothly in the machine or whatever. Like he's kind of shucking and jiving, but without like stepping on anyone's toes and shit. He's like a very smart character, and I think part of the reason why you don't get a bit more from him is basically just because the movie's an hour and a half, and it's like there is room for these characters to be in like a 2-hour movie, but that's not what Walter Hill was making here. He's making a $15 million movie in 2002. It's not going to be 2 hours long. It's just not happening. So he's got to keep things short. And I mean, he's looking. I feel like he's looking to make a simple, straightforward boxing movie. So some of those character things don't get expanded upon. But Rooker's good for what limited screen time he has in this.
Oh yeah. He's still very good.
What do you call it? Dayton Cowley's got a great name too. Yank Lewis in this movie.
Yank Lewis, yeah.
You forget to mention other folks show up in this film too. Like we mentioned, Peter Jason up there shows up for a hot second as a TV announcer. But one guy I want to mention is stuntman in Super Freddy and the Thing himself. Michael Bailey Smith shows up in this as the head skinhead in this movie. And
yeah.
I like this guy in things. He shows up in action things. Similar to that guy with the ponytail. He shows up in things. He might even be in an Undisputed sequel, if I remember. Oh. He might even be. I think he is. No, this was another film. I'm thinking of In Hell with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which isn't a bad movie either. It's like a foreign prison movie.
Okay.
Fighting.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's not bad. But Undisputed. Anything else you guys want to say about Undisputed? Lee Russell, how you doing? What's up, sir?
No, I think I said all I need to say about it. I think it's good. I think it's worth watching. I think this is one of those ones that we can all be honest here that this is not necessarily Walter Hill's best period for his films. We've kind of run into a couple stinkers or movies that haven't quite lived up to what we kind of expect from him in the last couple of years. But this is really surprisingly good, especially for Walter Hill in 2002. Someone got him the money and he put together a really good little B picture, basically, is what this is. and it's one that I don't think people should sleep on. It's actually a quality little, especially if you like, if you like boxing movies, if you're into that genre, this is a good one. It does all the things it's supposed to do. It's got a little bit of shades of gray, a little bit of like, is this character that much of a piece of shit or not? Who knows? Like there's enough ambiguity in there to make it interesting, and a bunch of great performances. Wesley Snipes again going a little bit against type here. Ving Rhames just like owning every scene he's in. Peter Falk owning every scene he's in. Yeah, it's definitely worth people's time to check out. I liked it quite a bit. So
yeah, because they only have like redeeming like story arcs.
No,
is the relationship between fucking Chewie and good old Mindy Ripstein there.
Yeah,
because he kind of dumps on him, but at the end of the day, he takes care of him. And,
yeah, he took care of him, and that's what's important.
Yeah, listen, kid, you're a piece of shit, but I'm going to give you $2 million when I die.
And what about that sad ending? I mean, like that. Peter Falk ended up dying like 3 weeks after it was over. It's just like, but I like crotchety old Peter Falk.
Yeah.
Will not be back for the sequels, people. But
what?
Yes, spoiler. He didn't have his eye out for the sequel script.
Yeah.
Damn.
Literally. Cameron, what about you, sir?
Other than going for the low hanging fruit there, like I said, I like this movie well enough. I feel like Lee's got a point that I probably should, give it a second watch. I won't give it a second watch anytime soon because, I want to revisit it again in maybe another year or so, 6 months to a year, because I believe in giving every movie a second chance. But it's a serviceable, boxing movie. I tend to like boxing movies, a little bit. I'm not my biggest jam. But, I'm here for the character actors. And, like, I love guys like Peter Falk, Fisher Stevens, Wes Studi, Michael Rooker, Dayton Cali. I mean, they make movies like this. Because if you don't have somebody good for somebody like Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames to play off of, then what do you have?
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely a step up from Walter's previous movie, Supernova.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's why he probably made this lower budgeted movie. It wasn't an $80 million movie. It wasn't sci-fi. It wasn't horror. It wasn't craziness. It wasn't like low rent. I've just been calling Supernova low rent Event Horizon lately. But, I think he probably did the right thing by making something a little small, almost not kind of studio picture, using air quotes here that you can't see. But, there's enough meat on the bones here to, satiate, any good action lover. I think if you love, Wesley Snipes, Ving Rhames, watch it. Definitely. You'll probably like it. And if you like boxing movies, you'll probably like it even more. I will give it a second chance and, give old Michael Bailey Smith and Nils Allen Stewart their day in court once again.
Yeah. Yeah, but with all the horniness in Supernova, this part really had one horny part in it. The part where they offer the effeminate prisoner to Ving Rhames, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
In that one scene.
Forgot about that.
But I digress. No, this is fine. This is very more than serviceable as far as like you're in it for the character actors, in my opinion, and that they're all working their ass off of this movie, even the small ones like you mentioned. Nils Allen Stewart and Michael Bailey Smith, they're all playing their role in the movie, and I could say that about everybody in the cast, that they're all playing that role in the movie. And
nobody disappoints from an acting standpoint.
Nope.
But yeah, the fact that and I get they were hot at the time. I keep going back to this. The hip hop soundtrack, they're all in this movie too, as like whatever quartet was singing in the ring.
Yeah, kind of hype men or whatever for the crowd.
Master P and his No Limit Soldiers are in this movie, and it doesn't fit the movie. Not that I'm dumping on hip hop, it just doesn't fit in the movie. And
this movie could have used a run in from the West Texas rednecks singing "Rap is Crap."
Oh man.
What does actually work somewhat in this movie, and I wouldn't have thought it when I looked at the cast? Ed Lover. Ed Lover is great in it. Like the line he has about like, if I don't know there was this much action of boxing in prison, I'd have committed crimes a long time ago. That's just great.
But him and Ed Lover, the other Dr. Dre, they brought rap music to white kids all over America. Come on, on MTV Raps. So, and they sold it very well. And he sells his role in this film. It's kind of like the one that should not be named, the rollerball redux.
Oh God!
You put Paul Heyman in that film, it works when Paul Heyman's on. Besides that, it's kind of hot garbage. But you know what? Paul's trying real hard to make it something.
He's got a real the more modern equivalent. I would probably sit on it. He's got a real like Tracy Morgan vibe to him. Kind of like, I could like if they remade this movie, I'd put Tracy Morgan in that role.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Oh gosh, but yeah, this is very decent. I recommend, and unfortunately, it's owned by the mouse, and stuff that's owned by the mouse, stuff like this, they don't make really readily available. Although I have a whole argument about Disney Plus and Hulu and the shit they just don't put on there.
Yeah.
This is one of those things they can stream that people would watch. Like, people always say, oh, we just watched R.I.P.D. on Netflix. And it's like a top 20 movie on Netflix. It's like, well, I saw it when it came out and I enjoyed it then. So I'm just going to throw it out there,
Yeah.
They could put this on some streaming service and I think it'd be a hot movie. It would get some streams, And,
it's better than most of the shit you see just get flung in Netflix these days. Honestly, like it's.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I mean this was made for like $15 to $20 million, something like that. Like I assume the 20 million's like 8 with added advertising budget or whatever, and like the box office was 15 million. But apparently Miramax Films also bought it for like 4.5 million as well for distribution rights. So like, I think everyone, although this didn't make money, quote unquote, I think everyone basically got paid at the very least. So,
Yeah. Well, that's
the check didn't bounce.
No, it didn't bounce, man. It did not bounce. But that's the end of this one. The next thing you should hear on this segment of the podcast, the main feed, we were discussing the Deadwood pilot, the HBO TV show. Walter Hill directed the very first episode. So I forget if he's on the first episode. So you might get us talking more Dayton Cali in the next episode. I have to look this up to see if he's on there, but he did.
I think he is. I think he is. And Peter Jason definitely is.
Peter Jason for sure. Good old fucking. Why is my mind a blank right now on this?
Keith Carradine, fucking
the one that calls a break cocksucker on that show.
Oh, Ian McShane.
Ian McShane. Yes. Why is my mind a fucking blank right now?
Swearingen.
Or as the one character kept calling him Swedgen.
Excellent TV. Walter directed the first episode, so we're going to discuss it on this episode of this. But over on the Patreon is Lee's choice, and it's a good choice. I will spoilers ahead right now. The Empire Pictures tale of man versus monster in a fight to the death. We're going to talk about Arena from 85, I think it is.
89.
89? Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Way to make 1989 look like 1985, right?
Exactly. But yeah, that's the end of this one. We'll see you all next time on the Last Call at Torchy's. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bottoms up.